having another stream with builders from the ecosystem. I'll give you an overview of what we're going through in a minute, but I've got Nish, the founder of Arlink, with me today. How you doing, Nish?
Doing great, Cam. Thanks for having me.
Nice, man. I always call you Nish, and I don't know if you actually like that name or if you
No,
just like to tell me.
yeah, many people call me Nish at this point. I'm just kind of used to it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, sick, man. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've obviously chatted quite a lot in the last sort of few months. You've been building Arlink. From my perspective, I think it's like a really core product in the ecosystem, and especially for AR.io network and Arweave name system. So to give folks kind of an overview of what we'll be doing today, as I said, Nish is the founder of Arlink. He can give maybe a more detailed introduction to himself and the product in a sec. But we're going to be walking through Nish's product, what it enables and how it enables folks to deploy sort of fully decentralized applications on Arweave and Arweave name system in one click. And then we'll be going through kind of the platform itself and looking kind of more closely at some features. And I think we're doing a test deployment as well, right, Nish? You want to? Yeah, cool. Very brave. Awesome. All right. Well, maybe we just jump straight into it. Do you want to give maybe a little bit of background on yourself, and then we can kind of like dig into Arlink in a little bit more detail?
Yeah. So, guys, my name is Nishal, and I'm the founder of Arlink. I'm actually a Web3 developer. I've been building apps for the past few years, and I've been doing Arlink for a full time for a few months now. So, talking a bit about what actually is Arlink. So, Arlink is like the simplest way to decentralize your front ends in one click. Think of it like Vercel, but the decentralized version of Vercel. So, Arlink is very similar to Vercel, has the similar UX where you can just deploy in one single click. An additional thing that Arlink lets you do is smart domains. So you can basically assign RNS smart domains to your deployments, and they can basically be mirrored to over 600 gateways. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I'll actually be showing you a demo and a lot of stuff. So I'll quickly give over to Kem.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I wonder how much maybe some of the viewers don't necessarily know so much about ARIO network and Arweave name system. So what Nish was kind of explaining there is ARIO network is a permanent cloud, the first permanent cloud that's kind of built on top of Arweave. What it consists of is decentralizing the storage, indexing, and access layer on top of Arweave, and it comes with a domain system, which is called Arweave name system. And that allows you to kind of associate any data that you've stored on Arweave with a name. And that can include websites or apps. So similar for a lot of people who are familiar with like deploying sites on IPFS and hosting them on ENS and ETHLEMO. The main difference here is with Arweave, you pay once and it's stored forever. But you also have 650 different gateways where you can access this website. So you get your name, you deploy the website, and you can go to, for example, arlink.arweave.net or arlink.any other of the 650 gateways in the network. And you get that kind of like full decentralized front-end experience that we've kind of been lacking in Web3. We've been working with Nish for quite a while to kind of like smooth out that experience and make it really easy for folks. And I love the framing that you put, Nish, of the Vercel for Web3, right? It's just like plug it in, click a button, and it goes. It's awesome. Because the alternative for folks is it's not like crazy difficult to do it, but you have to use perma-web deploy, right? And then you configure it manually. Cool. So maybe if we want to talk a little bit more in detail about kind of how Arlink works. I don't know if you want to like go straight into a demo and share the screen, or kind of how you wanted to.
I think we can better explain it with a demo, I guess. So
Okay.
simply share my screen.
Love it.
So the best way to kind of explain what is Arlink is by using it. So I hope you can see my screen actually.
Yeah, it's just
okay. So I think the best way to kind of understand something is to use it. So we're gonna try Arlink with a developer perspective. So I was vibe coding an app before this call. So we're gonna try to deploy that. So if you by any chance are a normal user of Arlink, you might notice one change that is like our logo has been changed, and also best the connect wallet button says login now. So since we want to kind of make Arlink more accessible to even Web2 developers, we've kind of pivoted a bit and made like a more Web2 kind of UI. So you can now log in with GitHub, and don't worry, you can still log in with your Wander wallet as you used to, and also MetaMask. But if you're wondering, okay, what about my smart domains that I have on Wander? Don't worry, I'll get right into it. So it's easy. You just log in with GitHub, and yep, you can start deploying.
Nice. And that's the integrations using
Yep,
shout
yeah.
out to Ankush,
By
right?
the
It's
way,
using-
yeah. But if anyone's wondering, what did we use to kind of log in? So the library behind is called WAuth. It's made by Ankush, the guy behind Subspace. Shout out to Ankush. So yeah, he's the guy building this actually, the wallet kit for this. So yeah, it's pretty smooth. It lets you authenticate with GitHub. So yeah, getting back to our demo, you can see if you've been a native user of Vercel, you see that the UI is actually basically very similar. The
Mhm.
reason being is you don't really have to learn to use this. It's like you're already used to Vercel, and you can just like start using this. It's going to be very similar to the experience that is. So I'm going to quickly import the repository that I have built actually. So the game is called Fruit Ninja. I don't know if I'm probably too old, but it used to be a very popular game back in the day. So I've kind of vibe coded a similar
Like
game.
a game that you used to play when you were younger. What does it do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like so it's like a board, and on top of that, like fruits are tossed, and you're supposed to slice them in like a given time.
Yeah.
And the number of fruits or the type of fruits that you cut within the given time, like the score goes up.
Fruit Ninja.
So
I
if,
remember it.
yeah,
Yeah. I didn't because it was one word on the name. I didn't really. That's a sick, man. I'm excited. So,
yeah, yeah.
do you want to kind of explain what Arlink is doing at this point?
Oh yeah, so just like Vercel, I imported my project in one click. And if you notice, I didn't really have to fill out what was the install command, what was the build command. Arlink does all of that by itself. It
Mhm.
already recognized that I'm using a byte template. Um, Also, uh, we have native support for smart domains, that is RNS.
Yeah.
If you're an older user of Arlink, you might be wondering, but with this GitHub stuff, what do I do about my RNSs being in other wallets? Well, we have something for you. So you can basically connect your RNS, your Wander wallet, and just simply import your names over from there to here.
Nice.
So it's going to be just one click, and then that's it. These names will then, yeah, you can see you can just
So,
import whatever you want.
this
Yep, and then you can,
that's
yeah, then you can use it as usual.
nice. So
So
that's
you
like
just,
if you want to get the experience of the GitHub login and kind of have that smooth experience, but you still want to be able to pull in your like decentralized domains from RNS and be able to deploy to them, you can connect the wallet that owns your domain and then kind of import them into your like profile that's associated with your GitHub.
yeah.
Yeah,
So for
nice.
this demo, I won't be doing that because I only have two domains that I'm
Yeah.
kind of using right now. Yeah, but if even if you don't have a smart domain, what you get with Arlink is like an undername, which is basically a smart domain that's tied to the Arlink name. So it's similar to when you would deploy in Vercel, you kind of get your app.vercel.app. So
Yep.
it's easier to share because since your website is being deployed to RV, it's gonna have a huge link because it's tied to the transaction ID. So kind of RNS and smart domains make it very human readable and easy to share. So yeah.
Nice.
By the way, pro tip: if anyone is a usual user of our link, we use bun underneath. So if you want to kind of make your builds faster, you can kind of edit the build command to bun, so it will kind of build faster. And yep, that's it. Now it will start building. It will automatically assign the name, and then just like Vercel, we'll be ready to play the game.
Yeah. So in the background now, what's happening? It's like pulling in the repo and then
Yep, yep. So in the background right now, what's happening is your GitHub repo is being pulled, and we are actually also simultaneously assigning a GitHub webhook to your GitHub repository. What basically that means is next time you will do git push your commit, it will automatically update your app. You don't need to come back or do anything. Just git push like you usually do, and we
yep,
handle all the rest.
cool. And then once you've pulled in the repo, it's building it, and then
Yep, it's building it, and it will basically put the static files onto RV using the Turbo SDK.
Mhm.
And then it will also assign a human readable name that is like an R-Link undername to your deployment, so you can easily share it and stuff. So yeah, it's almost completed even before I finished. Yeah.
Perfect. So just that last piece, it's like you're pulling in the repo of like a template that you have on GitHub. It's building the file as you do with like a normal static website. And then Turbo, which is the ARIO upload service for Arweave, is taking that build folder and putting it on Arweave. And then the last step is you're taking the transaction ID that you get back, which is like a manifest file that points to the structure on Arweave, right? And then you're associating that transaction ID either with like a name that you own. So if I could put it on Kemp, or if the user doesn't own a name, you're giving them a subdomain, right? Like it might be like project name underscore Arlink.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So yeah, and we're done basically. We got a small confetti to kind of celebrate. Let's continue to the project dashboard actually. So when I was explaining like what the smart domains do, so the raw static files kind of look like this. It's a very long link. It's not very shareable. It's not very readable. You can't really remember that. So that's why kind of smart domains come in. It basically shortens this to just Fruit Ninja, Internet Trash Fruit Ninja .arlink.net. So yep, I can go here and we can kind of play the game. By the way, if anyone wants to try, they can just go here and try it. So yeah.
So do you see the chat on here? Like, can you put the link in the chat and we can send it to folks?
Yeah, sure. I can't really see the chat here.
Do the private chat.
Chat.
Yeah. I'll put it in the comments. Awesome.
Yep. Awesome. Getting back to our link. Yeah, that's it. You deployed and you get CI/CD. But what else? So let's say in the future I buy a smart domain, or let's say I used a smart domain. So how do I update the? So whenever I do a CI/CD push, how do I update my main production website, right? So you don't have to go to the RNS app or any other website. You can do it right within Arlink. You can either, if you already have your RNS connected, you can just click this and update it. But let's say I just bought one, or I have a fresh one. I can just go here and I can select. This doesn't have anything, so it will say no. But like if your wallet has it, or if you just imported a name, it will show up here and you can just connect it. It's really simple. If for some reason you want to see the deployment logs of what actually happened, or if something failed, you want to see why it failed, you can just go to build logs and check the latest logs.
Yep.
If you have an RNS, this is a really useful feature because it keeps a track of what was deployed. So you can also revert back if you want to.
Nice. That could be really useful, actually. I'm imagining like you're like a DeFi team, right? And you ship a product and it gets like the latest version.
Yeah. Let's say you kind of broke it, so you can kind of go back and
really quickly go and switch it back to the name and make sure that everyone's got the not broken or the not like hacked version of it. That's really cool.
Yep. Also, if you have multiple branches of one single project, and if you're like a team and you kind of want to test each and every branch, you don't have to manually deploy it again and again. You can just sync all the branches in one place and then check all the previews at one place. So again, this is also a good feature because I was also working on MetaMask. So again, I can kind of add that in here.
Yeah.
So and that's like a.
I guess that would allow for like environments as well, right? You could have like a staging branch, and then every time you deploy to the staging branch, you get like a staging deployment for it. Yeah, nice.
Yes, that would make it very simple to do. Also, let's say I want analytics. So Arlink also has that, an on-chain version of anonymous analytics. So let's say I want to see how many people have used my application. I can just unlock analytics for it. And it's also very simple to use because it's just like one single script that you need to copy paste into your app, and then you're good to go.
Nice.
So it's gonna take a bit to unlock. Yeah, you just copy this into your main index HTML so it loads along with your app's body, and then you can kind of track. You can track a lot of things actually. Nice. I can track the number of visitors. I can track the average load time. So just to see if like the load time is too high, if you want to optimize something, or like which part of the world they're looking at. Like this map actually populates based on the country the user is coming from, and you can also see the recent activity. So again, pretty neat feature if you also want some analytics. That's not it. We actually have a lot more features. So let's say I'm very new to RV, or let's say I'm very new to deploying static sites or like permanent sites. We've got your back. We've got like an entire suite of templates that are very easy to get started to. You don't expect that you can like just git clone. You don't have to do any of that. It's just you click one single button and it clones it to your GitHub on your behalf. You don't have to do anything on like by yourself. It just happens automatically.
Nice.
So yeah, we have a lot of pre-built template for Polygon. We also have like a 0 to RV starter. And if you're building a Monad, we also have a starter template for that. This was very cool because this was used in the recent Monad hackathon as well. So yeah,
Nice, sick. Yeah, this is cool, man. And it's like anyone can do it, right? The only constraint for deploying like fully decentralized apps in this way is that they have to be static, right? Like they can't have a server component.
Yeah, as of now, the only limitation is that it needs to be static so that we can put it on Arweave. But I think with the introduction of the newer tech that is Hyper-V, maybe we have a solution for SSR apps as well. And a lot of people in the ecosystem have kind of played around with the idea of serving SSR apps. Shout out to Johnny Ringo, the example that he built. So yeah, you guys can also check it out if you're interested in that. um, yeah, and also let's say I have RNSs. I talk a lot about RNS, right? You can actually also buy and manage RNS apps, RNS domains right into Arlink. So now this wallet doesn't have any, so it won't show here. But if you buy one, you can kind of manage it right here. But if you also want to buy one, you can also do that actually. So it also has a inbuilt marketplace. So let's say I want to buy lol, lol, lol. So yeah, it'll kind of, yeah, it'll get the price for me if I want to lease it or if I want to buy it. And only, so let's say this is more expensive. If I want like a similar one, but a bit cheaper, it also gives me like similar options,
Yeah.
and I can either lease or I can perma buy it from here. So pretty neat feature. One improvement that is in our roadmap is right now the prices and then the buying and leasing is done to the main ARIO process. So it is not necessarily cheaper than buying from RNS.app. But
Yep.
soon we will have an update. So Arlink would be one of the cheaper places or one of the best places to get really good deals on your favorite RNSs. So yeah,
Nice.
more on could be a follow up in the future. So yeah,
Man,
that
there's so much here. Like it's really impressive. Like it kind of, I don't know if like when people heard you at the start say like think of it as like the Vercel for deploying decentralized apps, and it's like yeah whatever, cool bro. And then like you go through the whole demonstration, and it's like you've got domains, you've got the auto import templates, you've got the whole build process automated, you've got analytics, you kind of got everything. Like I think it's really impressive what you've managed to build here. And then that feature that you mentioned at the end there was you can already buy Arweave name system domains inside the app, but you are going to implement a feature whereby you're like a reseller and you're selling them at a
yeah.
discount. Yeah, yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you run and Arlink is built, as we said earlier, on AR.io network. So anyone who operates a gateway in ARIO network, after they've been in the network for a certain amount of time with a certain level of performance, they can resell these names at, I think it's like a 20%, up to a 20% discount. And then I guess it's up to you, right? You can either sell them at a discount to like attract more people in, or you could like maybe sell them at half the discount, and then it's an opportunity to create revenue for Arlink as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically our link. I'm gonna go back over to here and I'm gonna queue in Ken
Cool. Can we?
in
I
case
think
guys.
before we do that, I think it would be worth demonstrating real quick. Can you go to the game that you deployed?
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
And I'm hoping that
So,
this works. So can you change the gateway that it's on? I want people to see
oh
this.
yeah, let me also demonstrate the power of RNS.
Yeah.
So let's say for some very odd reason, it's being served through a gateway called rweave.net. Let's say that is down for some reason. So here's the power of RNS. I don't have to do anything from Arlink's end on my end. This is just the power of RNS. I can just do ar.io, and the same game is being served through another gateway.
Yeah.
And let's say even this is down, or maybe I this is a bit slower for my region. I can just switch it to r tech. So yeah, so there are over 600 of these gateways that this website can be visited through.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Another cool feature about like smart domains, what I like about it is, recently I had bought a domain name from GoDaddy, and I was having some problem with the registrar. So the best way to fix the problem was to kind of port my name over from there to like Hostinger, and it was a huge process. It was a very tedious process. But the best thing about smart domains is I don't have to rely on anybody because I own the name. I can come to Arlink to manage it. If I don't want to use Arlink, I can go to RNS app or any other app. So again, that is also a very good feature that you get with the decentralized protocols like ARIO.
Yeah. It's like you're not locked into Arlink, right? Like you can deploy on Arlink if you
Yeah, I
want,
can deploy.
but if you want, you can also go and deploy somewhere else and manage it from somewhere else. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
cool, man. And I think it is like it's underrated how important the fact that you can access a smart domain, an RNS domain, and in 650 different locations. Like, I think there's always been this feeling in Web3 where dApps aren't really dApps because the front end's not really decentralized, right? Like, we love the ETHLEMO team and we love ENS and we love IPFS, and what they've provided for the ecosystem is great. But you always have this challenge if there's like maybe one or two gateways that you can find this stuff at, and it's like, what happens if that goes down? Whereas what we've managed to create with AR.io is this like incentivized network of hundreds of gateways that are all over the world. So if you come and deploy your app, your decentralized app through Arlink onto Arweave name system name, it's almost like impossible to take that down, right? Because you'd have to go to lots of different countries, lots of different jurisdictions with different laws, and try and take these gateways down, and it's just not like feasible to do that. So yeah, it's
And
really
I can spin my own up for like $20 if I want to.
exactly, yeah. You could just spin up your own gateway in no time. It takes like 10 minutes. It's not a problem. Man, I think this is great. We obviously know each other pretty well, and we've worked together quite a lot. I'm excited for kind of where you're at with this already and where you're going to take it. I think we had some questions in the chat from Big Tone, Kemp, and Nish. Can you explain how Arlink deployments connect to RNS and the gateway network? I think we've kind of given that.
I think you've kind of explained that a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a huge amount to add there, but the TLDR is, Arlink basically uploads the websites, associates them with a name, and then that name can be accessed as a subdomain of any gateway in the network. Then we've got
Arlink, and you can easily import your names, and you can like connect your existing RNS if you have it. So
okay, I think we had some more questions. Guess what the next question was? This demo got me thinking. I saw Johnny Sparkles made a mini app on Farcaster. Is Arlink going to make a template for Farcaster mini apps?
Alpha soon.
Okay, cool. We definitely have to let Big Tone know, because he can get it out there in the base community. It'd be cool to have the base community deploying the centralized mini apps. What else have we got in the chat? We have a Jamal link from Ashish. And then, that's another good question from Big Tone. If my code is closed source and I deploy my front end from GitHub, does my code get exposed?
Not exactly, because like even if you have a private repo, you can still deploy it through Arlink, so you don't really have to make it public as such. But your code is technically it's a static site, so I can kind of get your code, but it's at the end of the day, it's built and it's flattened. So again, I need to kind of reverse engineer a lot of stuff. Won't be very readable. So again, you're fine. Any business that's kind of has a closed source repo can still deploy, because at the end of the day, it's a build static page. So again, all the modules are just built into one JS file. So again, nobody's stealing that. So yeah.
You're not stealing, like making their intellectual property public.
Yeah.
So to summarize, like if you have a closed source repo that you don't want the public to see or have access to, you can still connect that to Arlink. Arlink does need access to the repo to be able to deploy it, but like it's never exposing that repo to the public anywhere. It maintains closed source, and that's all done by the GitHub integration that we showed earlier, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Johnny says, when are you going to buy out first? Soon, yeah. Or maybe the other way around. Maybe you'll hear.
Yeah, maybe the other way around.
Yeah, Route will come along and buy out Arlink. That'd be cool. And then I don't know if there's anything you want to share on kind of like usage. Like I think last time I checked, maybe there were like a few thousand sites that have been.
Yeah. So till this date, over 4.5K deployments have been done through Arlink, which is like a huge number for the ecosystem. So it took a lot of work to kind of make Arlink one of the go-to ways to deploy to the permaweb, because before we existed, there were still some other solutions. So again, it took like some efforts to kind of get the community used to Arlink and like introduce them like a much simpler way to deploy. So
nice. Yeah,
I think this number will keep going up, like with our new GitHub integration, because like at this point anyone can use it, because previously you kind of needed to have a Arweave wallet if you wanted to use it. So now, like, even if you don't have a wallet, GitHub,
you can do it. Yeah, no, nice. And I know that there's like there's lots of kind of things that I've been playing on that I need to kind of like finalize templates for. Like an easy one to allow like NFT artists to deploy galleries for their artworks and NFTs that are hosted or stored on Arweave. Like it's really easy to do that. I figured out a way to do it as well without needing an RPC. So hopefully I can get that across to you sometime soon, because this kind of final change with Arlink and GitHub and kind of simplifying that process, I think makes it really easy for artists to be able to do that kind of stuff. And then that's like not even when you think about like as we grow into like the base ecosystem or the Solana ecosystem or wherever, I think there's loads of potential for growth here. And the experience is so good that like it's really easy for people to try it out, right? And hopefully once they've tried it out, that's the moment where they're the aha moment where they're like, okay, right, this makes sense now, and then they really go into Arweave name system and the decentralized domain story, and kind of Arlink is the catalyst that kind of makes it easy for folks to do that. Cool, man. We've got a few minutes left. I don't know if you wanted to kind of like round things up. Like, as I said, we've spoken loads before, and we've worked together really, really closely, and I'm super excited about everything that you're doing, and I really appreciate you coming here today and taking some time to kind of walk through some stuff. Is there any kind of like, other than the alpha that we've already dropped, are there any kind of like features coming soon that you want to highlight, or anything specific that you want to share with folks before we go?
Yeah, a lot of users have asked us about environment variables. So even though I've explained it a bit recently, that with the nature of the websites that are being deployed onto Arweave, it doesn't make sense for you to plug in private variables. But I still get that you don't want to kind of commit any even client-side variables, like directly hard code them. So we'll still be adding like an environment variable feature, so you can kind of put in your client-side variables if you want to, because these are technically exposed through network requests. So again, would be a good UX improvement from our end. Apart from that, we have recently introduced MetaMask. It's still in beta because some things can kind of break. A best way to kind of report any bugs or anything that you kind of notice that we should know about and we can fix on our end is to kind of reach us out onto our Discord. So I'll quickly share the link with actually Kemp later on, and you can kind of put it out there. But yeah, I'd love to get your guys' feedback over like what you feel about the app, what we can improve, and like what would you like to see in the future. So yeah.
Nice, awesome, man. Well, this has been great. We'll definitely do a follow-up post after and make sure that you're tagged. And I guess maybe the easiest way for folks to get in touch with you is via the Discord or via X, or what's the best way to connect?
Discord or X DMs. But again, I would prefer Discord because I'm like very active on Discord. So yeah.
Nice, I like it. And is there any like specific type of people that you'd love to hear from? Like, is there any kind of like use cases that you would like to see? Like we spoke about Farcast and mini apps earlier. We spoke about artists. Like, are there any like specific types of projects that you would love to see deploying on Arlink, and would be great for them to reach out?
So any ecosystem or like other project that is basically deploying static apps, like basically deploying static apps over Vercel, I would love to talk to you to kind of get you guys to see what we can improve on our end, so you can kind of switch to us, or we can like try out the service and give you more demos probably. Also, like any user that is an existing or a new user that is kind of using Arlink and have some feedback for me, I'd love to talk to you and seeing like how I can improve the application, or if I can add some things that you guys might need. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've seen Nish as well. Just to mention to everyone, I've witnessed Nish like be really good to like take feedback from folks and kind of integrate these features, and like everything that he spoke. A lot of the features that he's spoken about around like adding environment variable support, adding MetaMask, adding GitHub. A lot of this stuff is just directly from feedback from users. So if you try it out, please do like get in touch with Nish. I'm sure he'll do his best to kind of listen to feedback and build out from there. But dude, it's been awesome having you. I think as you release like new features, I think we just have you back and you can show the new features. So hopefully this is not the last time, but it was a very fun first time, man. You have an awesome day, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Peace.